This really is a question and answer session. So if you have questions, I'm going to go through a few things. I should introduce myself. I'm sorry. I'm Becky. I'm the race director here in North Carolina for Trivium Racing, and I'm the race director for Triple Lakes for this year. And I have worked, I don't know how many years now, Triple Lakes that I've worked it. But you will definitely see me at the start and finish. That's where I usually am. I'm usually not out on the course because I'm usually one of the timers sitting under the tent. So, but you'll see plenty of our staff on the course while you're out. But then so if you have any questions coming up, you're welcome to email us, whatever we don't get answered. For the 40 milers, we do plan to do more of a real pre-race virtual meeting the week leading up to the event, because I'm not going to go through everything today. I'm going to touch on some answers, questions that you might have in really preparing for this last few weeks before the race. And then we will do another virtual. And since we have people that are not doing the 40 miler, this will also be if you have questions about the marathon as well. I am going to show the map to make sure that everyone is familiar with the course. And then we'll talk about the aid stations, and then I know we have a couple questions to answer. So first, I'm going to pull up the map, and this will be the 40-mile map. To begin with. So we have our start is here in Burr Mill Park in Greensboro. Burr Mill sits right along the Greenway I know it's northern Greensboro. And so to start, you all will go out, you'll hit the Greenway, you'll travel along the Greenway for just over a mile, and that's when you'll actually hit the first trail. And the first trail will be the Owl's Roost Trail. Sorry, I'm going to pull it this way. And you'll travel Owl's Roost in a counter clockwise motion. And then you'll hit the Shady Side Trail, and you'll make your way back to the Greenway, where and it's directly across the Greenway. You're doing just a little diagonal, and you're going to jump right back into the Palmetto Trail. You'll come out of Palmetto and run along a sidewalk and enter the Nat Greens Trail. The Nat Greens Trail is going to take you all around Lake Brandt, right along Lake Brandt. You're going to pop out there. You're going to cross the street. We will have police at this road crossing because it is a main road in Greensboro. Then you're going to hit the Laurel Bluff Trail. When you exit the Laurel Bluff Trail, there will be a police at that crossing, and because that's another major road, and you're going to go right across the street and enter the Crockett Trail. You're going to follow that. You'll exit out of that, and you'll run up the side of the road across the bridge, and then you will enter the Osprey Trail. Then you're going to make your way. You will have another road crossing. There won't be police there. There should be staff there to help with that road crossing. That is also 40 milers where your drop bag will be, is right here. That is the first time you hit it's at mile 18. You're going to come back and you'll hit it again, so you can hit your drop bag twice if you want, or just leave it for whichever time you pass by. Then you're going to continue on the trail, and that is Townsend Trail. And you're going to continue on, and then you will come to the U-turn, and so then you'll turn around. You will make your way back the way you came. around, sorry, my mouse is doing weird things. So you'll travel along back Townsend Trail, you'll hit your drop bag, you'll cross the street again, and this time you'll hit Osprey. You'll make your way back to Crockett Trail. Let me move my map so you can actually see this section. So right here, when you come out of Crockett this time, instead of going directly across the street, you'll make a right turn along the road, and you'll travel north along that road. You'll cross the bridge, and then you'll make a left turn into the Reedy Fork Trail. So you'll travel along the Reedy Fork Trail. When you exit that, you'll make a left turn and run up Lake Brandt Road, where you will then get to the intersection that you have already crossed once before on your way out, and you will enter back into the Nat Greens Trail and make your way back along all the way back to the end of Nat Greens. You will exit Nat Greens, you'll make a right to travel along the sidewalk, and then you'll re-enter Palmetto Trail. Let me get my mouse where I need to be. And then you will re-enter Owl's Roost, and Owl's Roost will bring you right out back at Burr Mill into the finish line. So that is the 40-mile route. The marathon, you pretty much follow the exact same. Sorry, I just realized I didn't have the marathon route up. So this is the marathon route. And as you can see, you start the trail exactly the same. You travel along Owl's Roost, same direction. You're going Shady Side. You go Palmetto. You do the Nat Greens Trail. You do Laurel Bluff. But at the exit of Laurel Bluff, 40-milers stay straight. Marathoners, you turn left. And I will say this. There is always a marathoner that goes straight and ends up at the 18-mile drop bag location for the 40-mile event. So marathoners, there is a sign there that will say marathon left, 40 miles straight. So you have to pay attention to that sign. I don't want you to be the one marathoner this year that goes the wrong direction. So marathoners, you'll make the left turn out of Laurel Bluff. You'll turn left onto the Reedy Fork Trail. You will make your way back to the Nat Greens Trail. So when you exit Nat Greens, you get to take the right turn and travel the greenway back to Owl's Roost. So that is the main difference on the return between the 40-miler and the marathon. The 40-miler continues all the way to the end of Nat Greens. Marathoners, you get to stop at the greenway to make your way back to Owl's Roost, to make your way back to the finish line. So those are the differences between the 40-mile and the between the 40-mile and the marathon route. I'm going to pull up the aid station. And at any point, if you have questions, you are more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask your questions, or type them in the chat box and we will get to them as well.
I obviously don't have any questions, but as you're pulling up the course, the aid station stuff, in the athlete guide, it talks about course cutoffs. If you don't, I'm just going to talk about them real quick. So it says the marathon is the 12-hour time limit, okay, and the 40-mile is the 12-hour time limit. So I don't know if you wanted to go any other details besides that, but that is in the athlete guide.
Yes.
I think there was a question in the chat about the elevation I saw go through.
The elevation? Okay.
It's asking if the Strava elevation is accurate. Is that for the marathon or for the 40 or just in general? That's what somebody asking.
The 40 miler.
Okay.
I guess in general, but
Yes, it should be. It's pretty accurate. Your main spikes are along the Owl's Roost Trail. That is where the elevation is. So it is at the beginning and it is at the end, is the main elevation. Knack and along Knack, there is some elevation of Knack Greens, but the main that you'll really can tell is along Owl's Roost. Laurel Bluff does have some high points, but nothing like the elevation change on Owl's Roost. The same for the Osprey Trail. It has some high points, but again, it's not as noticeable as the Owl's Roost Trail. That is where the most of the elevation is. The Reedy Fork Trail, I have to say, is it's the easiest trail out of all of them for you for that day. All right, so your aid stations. I don't know why my screen is so blurry, but it is. So the first aid station is at the entrance to Owl's Roost, or that we should say the exit of Owl's Roost, the entrance of Palmetto. And you will all hit that at mile 6.25. You will see it when you first get on the Greenway and are about to enter the Owl's Roost Trail, but you won't actually be added at that point. And remember, it's only the first mile in, so you won't need it at that point. So you will have access to it at mile 6.25. It has water, tailwind, Coke, bananas, trail mix. You'll see pickles, hummus wraps, and pretzels and gels. We realize that you're really going to want those on your way back to the finish and not necessarily on your way out. But you are more than welcome to it will be available anytime you actually hit those aid stations. The next aid station is at mile 8. It will have water, tailwind, Coke, peanut butter, cheese crackers, chocolate covered nuts, dried fruit, and gels. Your third aid station is at the exit of Knack Greens on Lake Brandt Road. That's where you have a road crossing. You'll have water, tailwind, Coke, boiled potatoes with salt, mandarin oranges, cookies. It will be Oreos, pretzels, and Huma gels. Your fourth aid station is Laurel Bluff. It's mile 14.6. It'll have water, tailwind, Coke, pickles, bacon, grapes, jelly beans, peanut butter crackers, and gels. Those aid stations, at that point, at aid station 14.6, that's where the marathon and the 40-mile split. So marathoners, you will then hit aid station in backwards order, 3, 2, 1 again. 40 milers, you will then hit aid station 5 at mile 18.4, which will have your drop bags, and it will have water, tailwind, Coke, boiled potatoes again. I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Really sorry. It's for you, 40 milers, it's aid station 4. It's aid station 1, 2, 3, 4. Aid station 5 for you. So it's water, tailwind, Coke, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We'll also have spoons if you just want peanut butter, chips, pickles, Rice Krispies, bananas, and Huma gels. Once you hit aid station, that aid station, you then go on, and it will have your drop bags. You then go on to the U-turn, and that's where you turn around And you will then hit all those aid stations again in backwards order. So you'll hit aid station that you were just at. It'll have peanut butter again. Then the next one will be your aids. It will be aid station 6, 7. It'll be the 7th one for you, and you'll hit again water, tailwind, Coke, pickles, bacon, grapes, jelly beans, peanut butter crackers, and Huma gels. So you'll see all the ones that went out will have the same food when you come back. And so then all of our aid stations have a generic first aid kit. It has feminine hygiene products. It will have electrolyte tabs, and then it will also have salt tabs. So we use 2 different salt tabs. We use it's either or at the aid stations. It's either just a plain salt tab, or it will be a salt stick brand salt tab. And if it's a salt stick, those also have some extra electrolytes in them. It is still a salt tablet, but it does have extra electrolytes. Each aid station will also have Vaseline. If you need that for any chafing, it will be there. We also have things like Kleenexes and hand sanitizer. We have extra reusable cups on there, because for the 40 milers and the marathoners, we do reusable cups. We do not have an abundance of paper cups on the trail. We try to keep it a cupless event. Where there's tailwind, every aid station will have tailwind. We use the flavors Naked, Mandarin, Raspberry, which is caffeinated, and the new the watermelon flavor that Tailwind has now. When we actually get to the week of the race, we'll have the Tailwind flavors put on the aid station chart. We'll update that because we won't know until the week of which aid stations are getting those flavors. The only one that is caffeinated is the raspberry. And so that is, if you're interested in that. And I know some are interested in and I'm sorry, I don't know it's totally left mind. The scoop, the equivalent of the mix. We get the endurance fuel from Tailwind, and it is a bulk pack, so it gets mixed with 5 gallons of water. And so when it's mixed in that way, it is 1 scoop per 12 to 13 ounces of water is how the mix ratio works out. So then cutoffs.
Oh, sorry,
And I'm
Becky,
actually
real quick. Sorry, we
Yes.
have a question from Dan, and he asks, is he understanding the aid stations correctly that there are none along the Reedy Fork section of the course?
You'll have one at each end of that trail. So let me go back to the map, and I can actually point to them for you.
Perfect.
So your first aid station is right here at mile 6.25. Your next aid station is right here, right at mile 8, right when you're going to enter the Nat Green Trail. Your next aid station, I'm probably not pointing exactly, but it's right around 11.5, somewhere around there, 11.4, right here. And then you're going to, where you exit Nat Greens and you enter Laurel Bluff. Then your next aid station's at the exit of that trail, which is like 14.6. I know my mileage, looking at the map, my mileage is slightly off when I calculate it. For 40 milers, your next aid station is right here where your drop bags are at mile 18. And then you will hit that aid station again at mile 23 point something. So then 40 milers, you'll come back. And so you'll hit this aid station again. And so when you hit this one, that's when you enter the Reedy Fork Trail. And when you exit Reedy Fork and then run up the road, you'll hit an aid station right there, which would be mile 29. It's around mile 30 that you'll hit it. So you really are hitting aid stations whenever you exit a trail right before you enter a new one. That's how you can think about it. So the Reedy Fork Trail, you'll hit it right before you go over to enter that, and you'll hit one after you exit. So then you'll hit the next exit of Nat Greens down here, which is mile 33, 30, right around 34, mile 34. And then you'll enter the trail again, and you'll hit that last aid station right before you go back into Owl's Roost on the Greenway, right around 35.7, I want to say is that mileage for that one. And then you'll enter Owl's Roost for the last time, and then you'll make your way to the finish.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Okay. So we talked about cutoff. Mel mentioned the cutoffs, and so let me go. So both the marathon and the 40 miler start at 8:05 a.m. And we will start at 8:05 a.m. One year we had a huge delay at the bathrooms, and unfortunately I still had to start at 8:05. And so we did have a few late starters. We have to be off the trails at a certain time. And so to make sure that you all have the entire time, we do start at 8:05. And then these are the course time limits and cutoffs. So the 40 milers, you have to average an 18-minute mile per minute mile. You will have your first hard cutoff will be at mile 18, where your drop bags are, and you have to reach it by 1:30. The second cutoff is when you come after the U-turn and you come back to that same aid station where your drop bag was. So that's mile 23.3, and that hard cutoff is 3:05 p.m. And then the next hard cutoff is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 aid stations for 40 milers. It's your aid station 7, and you will hit it. You have to reach it by 4:08 p.m. And then the last, it's a hard cutoff. I'm not going to say it's the last. I'm going to say it's the last published hard cutoff, which is when you exit Nat Greens on Old Battleground Road at mile 34. You have to reach that by 6:17 p.m. to be able to make the 8 p.m. cutoff. I will say this, that is, you're going to hit another aid station before you get on Owl's Roost Trail for the last little trail before the finish line. If you drop your pace and you don't make it to that aid station, you will be cut at that point. Our sweepers for our trail have a match your pace, match this 18-minute per mile pace, and so they will be going forward and cleaning trail at a certain time. So just fair warning, 40 milers, that we won't, if you do drop your pace anywhere along the course that it does not keep with 18 miles and it's not at an official hard cutoff, especially if it's after 6:17 at the very last aid station, we will still pull you off the course if you drop the 18, if you start taking longer than 18 minutes. Marathoners, you have a 12-hour time limit as well to finish your marathon. So you have to keep pace of 27.5 minutes per mile. And so your cutoff is at the Laurel Bluff Trailhead, which is also the Nat Greens trailhead. And it's 2:46 p.m. So any marathoners, if you don't make mile 14.6 by that time, we will have to cut you off the trail as well. So 40 milers, you all will have a drop. You'll have one drop bag. You will hit it twice. You will hit it twice. Now, whether you take aid from it both times is up to you, but you will have that available to you on the course. And then let's see, I'm not going to go through course markings or anything like that. Do we have any relay teams on the? Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. We had a question about shoe recommendation. I think actually that was one of the questions that may have come in too. So
yeah,
I'm just bringing it up now because it's in the chat.
Yes. So the trails here, I'm going to say this, that if it is not raining, if it has not been raining, if it's been a dry week, do you have to have a trail shoe? No. These trails are, they're rooty. There are lots of acorns and walnut trees, and it's rocky. And some have more areas than other that are that way. So I'm not going to say that, it's not. If you usually have trail shoes, you should wear them. But if you like running trails in regular tennis shoes, these trails definitely allow you to do that without any problem. It's not like there's going to be, it's not like going to one of the state parks and you're climbing up, one of the mountains like at Hanging Rock or things like that. These trails are very, very nice and work well if you're used to running in just regular tennis shoes.
That's great. I appreciate the information.
Do we have any relay team members on this call? I don't want to take time if we don't. 40 milers, if you're going to have pacers, they are allowed. We do ask that they register and they get a pacer bib. They are welcome to join you at any point on the course. Technically, they don't have to check in at an aid station, but we ask that wherever. The best place for them to join you, though, is at an aid station. Our aid stations are located near parking lots, whether in a parking lot or across the street from a parking lot. So those are the best places for them to actually check in and start running with you. So I'm the athlete guide. If you haven't looked at it recently, it does have the course and the turns for you. It has the Strava map links in it. For you, we will be doing a pancake and bacons at the finish line for you. And it also has information about Race Joy if you're interested in running with your phone. We are also doing checkpoints on the trail, so you don't have to run with your phone. It will update if anyone, family or friends, is still using Race Joy. They can still track you when your bib hits the timing points on the course. But I'm not going to go through everything in the athlete guide. So really, if you have any questions, about the race, or now would be the time to ask. I think, was there another question we were asked that I didn't address? Oh, someone, I don't know who asked the question about the the bridge on the Greenway. For those if you're new to the Triple Lakes race, this is a alternate route we've had to use the last few years because there's a bridge out on the Greenway. And so the last I've seen is it is not expected to be complete until 2027. And so it is going to be a while before we get to use the true Triple Lakes course.
Becky, can you share those email addresses again? I haven't been able to figure out how to switch my registration.
I'll
Okay,
put 'em
so
in the
it,
chat. I'll put 'em in
okay.
the chat, yeah.
I am going to plug this. If you have any friends or family that would like to volunteer, we still have volunteer spots available at our aid stations. And volunteers get perks like either a race shirt or free entries to future Tribeam events. And so we can also gift those free entries. So if there's a race you would like to do and you have someone volunteer, they can volunteer in your name and you can get the free entry for a future race.
I'm going to put the volunteer link in the chat also. Yes, there's a lot of roles that need to be filled, and as anybody who's ever raced before, you know that the team of the racing company can only do so much, and volunteers play such a critical role. And usually volunteer roles only a few hours, and sometimes they're actually fun because you can see people that you know out there. Oh, someone asks, can you tell us more about the rum?
Okay. I'm like the worst person to ask about the rum.
Do tell, because I've been trying to figure this out, and I've been working for you guys for a few years.
Okay, so the rum. So we have a cask of rum, and so it has a engraved plaque on it. So the the winners get their name, the top half marathon male, the top half marathon female, 40K, 40 mile. Also, we will also do non-binary as well. They will get their name engraved on that plaque, and they also get a wooden cup. And so if they bring it to the race in future races, they get a drink. They get to get a shot of rum at the race. So it's for future events as well. So you'll get it that day. And then if you bring your wooden cup, then you get to have rum as well.
Is there any pictures of said wooden cup?
Yes. Let me find that. There we go. Which one is it? There it is.
This is a good question about, do volunteers count as participants toward the team tent? And usually they do not.
So
right,
usually,
Becky?
yes, usually they do not. But I will say this, that if we are in a position where we don't have volunteers, then we count that. We will count it. So that is definitely something. You are more than welcome to email me and say, hey, can we include these in our team count to do to get the team special privileges or the VIP things. And so if you email me, that is things that we can work out. But in general, it is not, because unfortunately things happen and volunteers don't show up. And so it is, unfortunately, that's one reason that we don't include them in the team, the VIP status.
But they do count as points
Yes.
for the club cup competition, which is great. So
They do, yes.
And I'm looking at the teams right now, and there's nobody that's even near 10 people. So let the race begin
Yes.
for the teams.
So
Can
in
I
this
ask-
picture, go ahead.
Oh, different topic. Can I ask about Spectator, the Spectator experience? Just a thought that I had. I'm coming from. Can you hear me? Okay, by the way.
Yes.
Okay, so I am coming from out of town. I've been to Greensboro. I have friends there, but it's been like forever. So I really don't know the area that well. I kind of have in my mind while I'm running the marathon loop around the lakes. It could be a fun opportunity for my wife to jump in a kayak and kayak around the lake. Does that work, or is that
Yes.
not?
So, well, so I'll say this: she can't kayak with the expectation to see you on the trail. I should.
Sure.
Okay.
Right,
I should make sure that's clear. Lake Brandt Marina, which is one set of trails, the Owl's Roost, the Nat Greens, all that goes around that lake. But Lake Brandt Marina does kayak rentals. It's a very short drive from the start and finish line. And that is also where one of the aid stations is located, right outside the Lake Brandt Marina entrance. And so that's a very easy place. That might be the only place that you could do public kayak rentals. Also, where Burr Mill is located, it is right off of Highway 220, which is also Battleground Avenue. There's plenty of restaurants, shopping, coffee shops, whatever you're interested in. There's
Yeah, that's what
also
I'm looking for. Things that will occupy her while I'm gone for 6 hours.
yes. If
Right.
you have children that are coming, the Greensboro Science Center is also very close in that area as well. And so that's also an option for a couple of hours to spend time. But it's very where the trail system is and how it connects to the major roads. It's very easy to get around, very friendly for spectators to keep up with their athlete if that's what they're looking to do, or to go out and explore a little bit. It's very close to Battleground. It's on Battleground, and then it's not too far from downtown downtown Greensboro as well.
Great. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see.
I actually lined up this race. We have a family reunion down there that weekend, and I thought, why not make the most of it and go for a nice run on Saturday? So the timing was
Awesome.
perfect. I'm really excited about this.
Good. All right. Truly. I'm trying to remember how many weeks we are. So we're 4 weeks this week.
I think
3
that sounds
weeks.
about
Well,
right.
almost. It's going to be less than 4 weeks. We're really almost 3 weeks. So I hope everyone's training has been going well. I know that you're beginning to taper, I would assume, or about to start tapering before. I will say this, that if you plan on using the food at our aid stations, that you do look at the aid station chart again, and any of the runs you're doing now to practice with the food. There will be, hopefully not too many runner stomachs as you go throughout your race day. But I know it's always a possibility if you try something new at the aid stations. And then I'm sorry, my mind just went blank. There was something else I was going to mention. Yes, it does, Curtis.
Yes.
If you have been doing the other trail series, this one completes it.
And I would love to see completed medals.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to promote that. I know I didn't necessarily introduce myself, but I'm Mel and I just do the marketing for North Carolina. So if you see social media posts and the newsletters and a lot of the emails for the races, that's me. And I would love to show off the completed medals because I think that's a huge deal. And there's it's a reason why we have these series is we want to showcase those mega medals going on.
Definitely.
Trying to think if there's anything that I've seen on any of the social media posts for questions, but I can't think of anything at the moment.
Really, if you don't have any questions, there's really not much else to go over. So you are welcome to ask more questions or to go on with your evening.
Thank you both.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right.
All right.
Well, that's it, everybody. And I will press stop recording.
Okay. I just realized that I don't